the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans here. It's our Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet NextGen Racing Series fires things off for round number 11 right here in America's heartland. That's right, the Quaker State 150 live from Kentucky Motor Speedway. Drivers ready to lay down some fast laps in qualifying just now getting underway. Track a little bit busy, over 20 drivers in the field here tonight, and with only tonight's race and 4 more points paying races before the championship chase gets underway, it's going to be very vital, very important for these drivers to get what they can get and begin to set themselves up. With the championship run, we'll see how those front runners go. Dallas Manus coming on board, debut race last week from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He took the checkered flag in the Brickyard 138. Will he be able to do it once again here with his teammate Alex Coffey? 3 race wins in Coffey's back pocket. Can he make it a 4th? We'll find out shortly, but first, how you doing? How you feeling? out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave, bringing you all the calls from trackside. With just about 2 minutes off of the stopwatch in this qualifying session, we're going to take a little peek at those qualifying times. Let's see who's sitting on top of the speed charts right now. Man at the front in his Shell Pennzoil number 33 Chevy, Brian Mescal Jr. Go quick time here tonight, 31:07 for Mescal Jr., one of our previous champions, needing a good race, needing a good night to try to bring himself into contention for the season championship. We'll see how it runs as the music's gonna fade away. We're gonna get a little clearer picture of how our starting lineup's gonna look. Brian Mescal Jr. top of the speed charts, Alex Coffey right there in second, Dustin German, TJ Roberts, and Travis Smith rounding out your top five. How about the man sitting in sixth, Damian Patton, the one machine. Patton looking good here tonight from Kentucky. And just like that, new man at the top of the speed charts, Rob Haynes, going to take the quick time here in qualifying. Minute and a half now remaining. Fast time, a 31:06, belonging to the 199 of Rob Haynes. So quick fire action here in qualifying. 15 drivers on the speed charts with still at least about 7 or 8 yet to put in a time lap. There you can see Seth Steele sitting 16th on the speed charts right now in the 28 machine. We've still got Waylon McConnell, Nathan Biggert, Derek Myers, Chad Meadows, Jerry West, Lance Yancey, Gary Cleaver, and Dallas Manus all yet to put in their time lap. We'll see if that 45 Toyota gets out there on track. Will the Camry be able to get back to the front of the field? We've got a Toyota leading the pack here in qualifying. Rob Haynes with quick time, 31:06 is the provisional pole position for the time being. As we get ready to roll off the final few seconds of qualifying, it does indeed look like Rob Haynes will be your pole sitter here tonight. He will bring the field to the green flag, so just like that, your Damian Patton Real Estate starting lineup set here for Kentucky. So we've got ourselves a little bit of time, so what do you say we get into some of the official business before tonight's race? 5 races, including tonight, for drivers to try to make their way into that top 12 in the point standings for an opportunity at the season championship hardware. There you can see Alex Coffey ahead of the field, 35 points out in front of Roy Hyde. Hyde yet to go to victory lane so far this season as well, but look for Hyde trying to have some good solid runs, good times in happy hour, good time in qualifying. High just outside of your top 10 for tonight's Quaker State 150, so look for him to try to make some headway in the point standings. Dustin German, Brian Littleton, Nathan Biggert, all right there. Biggert sitting in that 5th spot, 57 points out of your overall points lead, but in a comfortable position with only 5 races remaining before that playoff cutoff. And we're going to start looking in around that I would say about 9th, all the way back down to about Chad Meadows sitting in 18th position right here. That's where it's going to get pretty hot and heavy over the course of these next handful of weeks. You can see Compton and Snyder right there, just 1 point separating them to 6 points separating themselves from a top 10 position. Matthew McMeekin only 5 points on the outside looking in. 23 points out is Jan Van Leer. Van Leer with some good runs so far this season. We'll see if he's able to continue his ways. Van Leer inside the top 15 and qualifying here tonight for the Quaker State 150. So a lot of guys looking to make some headway in the point standings. We're going to get to the rest of the list right here, just like that. That's how the rest of it runs down there. You can see gets a little, I don't want to say out of whack, but it's going to be a little bit hard for anybody outside of that top 20 to really have a shot at making their way into the championship standings. There's only one man that might have that outside shot looking in, and we're going to need some clarification on this one. I do not believe this is a win and you're in championship standings or championship chase. So just because you got that race win does not mean you're going to have an opportunity to race for a season championship. And that's to point out Dallas Manus right there. The 45 went to victory lane last week. 76 points to his name this season. Only one race, but he's been to victory lane. Will he be able to get back there? Will he be able to make his way into the top 12? There's an outside chance, but there's still a chance. So as we get set for the drivers to start making their way to the starting grid, we're going to take just a brief commercial break. Head back trackside for your national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back for the Quaker State 150.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back live trackside, looking down from the turn 3 blimp as the flyover has finished. Drivers are making their way to their starting position. So what do you say? We join the action and go a little closer. Let's go trackside. Just as we were ready to go to commercial break, and just as the final few seconds were rolling off of the stopwatch, Derek Myers going to steal that pole position and walk away with the top spot in the Damian Patton Real Estate starting the lineup. What do you say we jump right into it? Let's get to the action, and as you can already hear in the background, producers hitting those buttons so you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup. The Quaker State 150 brought to you by Damian Patton Real Estate, rolling off inside of row number 1, your pole sitter at a smoke show, racing the 24 of Derek Myers. Rob Haynes going to start just to his outside, the Canada native. get the job done here on American soil tonight. We'll find out how about the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. He'll start inside row number 2 with Alex Coffey just to his outside. Dustin German, TJ Roberts making up row number 3. Row number 4 here tonight, the Quaker State 150, the number 9 of Travis Smith, followed by the 1 of Damian Patton. Chris Spencer and Brian Beach will make up row number 10 with the 18 machine, rounding out your top 10. Roy Hyde and Jan Van Leer back in row number 6. Row number 7 here tonight from Kentucky Speedway belongs to Brian Littleton and Jerry West. Matthew McMeekin and Nigel Christensen making up row number 8. Row number 9, Zachary Compton and Seth Steele. Dallas Manus and Nathan Biggard back in row 10, rounding out your top 20. Waylon McConnell, Kerry Cleaver back in 22nd. Tail end of the field, Lance Yancey and Chad Meadows, and it looks like we're hearing pre-race penalties in order. Your pole sitter here tonight did not get that time lap in time, and it is disallowed, so that's going to make things a little different at the front. Brian Mescal Jr. will take over the front spot on that inside row. We'll see how he goes at it. So there you go. There you have it. That's your Damian Patton Real Estate starting lineup as drivers off of turn 4, ready to roll in the restart zone for the first time tonight. And on the gas. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight. From Kentucky Speedway, Mescal Jr. off to a good jump on the bottom of the track, side by side, the 99 and the 199. German and Haynes going at it for a second. Travis Smith moves up to 4th. Chris Spencer right there as well. And the volume on the voice a little bit low. We'll see if that fixes it up for you guys. We do appreciate the feedback in the chat over there. Thank you very much, keeping us informed on how things are rolling, how things are going. You know, sometimes updates with software can do those kind of things. Side-by-side racing action now between Coffey and Spencer. Coffey up on that high side, looking for a way around, trying to move into that 4th position. He'll have the advantage, and he will move into 4th. Move Alex Coffey right back where he qualified in that 4th position. Dropped a spot or two on the initial 2 laps, but back into 4th position now as drivers cross the start-finish line. 3 laps, 2 laps in the book. 3rd on the board. We'll drop that timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Sorting out a little bit, but we've got some great racing action right here around that number 9 machine of Travis Smith, Damian Patton, and TJ Roberts all going at it for position 9, 7, and 1 going at it into turns 3 and 4. Patton looking for some real estate on the bottom of the racetrack, but the 7 going to make some moves. TJ Roberts goes top to bottom into the inside of Travis Smith. He'll take the 6th position away. Still side-by-side racing action between Damian Patton and Travis Smith. Both of these drivers still going at it. Chad Meadows is going to have a little bit of an issue. Meadows is going to go around the 08 of Chad Meadows with some issues early here tonight from Kentucky, so caution flag will fly for the first time here tonight back on lap number 5. I tell you what, do we got to look? We do got the drone cam on it, so go ahead. Let's go to the Dale Earnhardt replay. There you can see the 8 on the bottom of the racetrack. A little bit of a slow slide, and he's going to correct it and nose it straight into that outside wall. Big trouble here. He's going to be in some damage control from this point on as we head back to the front of the field. Race leader Brian Mescal Jr. Green flag dropped, and he fired out of a cannon, man. A lot of speed underneath the hood of that 33 Shell Pennzoil machine, and it's good to see Mescal Jr. back at the front of the field. For those of you just joining us, maybe this season or maybe even just for tonight, The man behind the wheel of that 33 machine, Brian Maskell Jr., one of our previous season champions, well-seasoned, very talented veteran. We'll call him an original. Well, because he is an original. Brian Maskell Jr. Was here with the Next Gen Racing Series way back before it was even brought over here to the iRacing.com platform. iRacing, your world's #1 racing simulator. But me and this man, we've got a lot of great battles between ourselves. Going at it 4 season championships. Brian Maskell Jr. getting a season championship about 2 seasons ago right here with the Next Gen Racing Series. So good to see him back to championship form, so to speak. A lot of speed behind the wheel of that 33 machine today. And we'll see if it translates into long run speed. It's one thing to be quick on short runs. It's one thing to be quick on fresh tires. But when you can manage that tire wear and be quick over the course of an entire fuel run, that is where you want to be. I mean, all jokes aside, let's cut all the bull out of it. Who cares if you're fast for a lap, right? If you can't turn 20, 30 laps without putting it into the wall or spinning it out, well, you're not going to do yourself any bit of good being fast that one lap. So we'll see which one of these drivers is able to manage that pace during a long green flag run. Quick little reset for these drivers here as the pace car remains on track. The 2 to go signal given by the boss man in the flag stand last time around. So our good buddy Mr. Millen in that pace car will get the 1 to go and cut the lights off next time around. A few takers to pit road. Nigel Christensen had Roy Hyde, Chad Meadows, Seth Steele, Lance Yancey, Zachary Compton, and Derek Myers all to pit road. Topping it off with a little bit of that Sunoco Racing fuel. So they'll be able to extend a green flag run if we get that long green flag run. I mean, I know it's early, but you know how I am about strategy. You know how I am about thinking about things throughout the course of the night. And we're already popping that fuel strategy through our heads. The crew chief in us just can't allow ourselves to not think about it. 40 laps is about what you're going to get on a green flag run out of the fuel tank, so that's going to get extended just a little bit with this early caution from 18th on back to pit road. They have a little more fuel in the tank. They're going to be able to go, I would say, somewhere to about lap 52 before they're going to have to come to pit road for fuel. Will we see the long green flag run? We'll have to wait to see how it all pans out, how it works out for us here tonight. But I don't know. I've got my eye on a handful of drivers. We're not going to hit them with that broadcaster curse just yet. But we will keep our eye on a handful of them that are making some moves, are making some headway up through the field. As we're double file back down the back stretch, pace car lights are off. We're ready to kick it off once again here from Kentucky Speedway for the Quaker State 150. And here we go, pace car back down and off the racetrack. We're ready to roll to the Geico restart zone. Double file stacked up front of the field on the gas, and green flag flies. Once again, here from Kentucky Speedway, you can hear a little bit of race control bleeding in over on our channels. We do apologize for that. We'll try to get that worked out for you just as soon as we can, but Brian Mescal Jr. going to take that advantage on the inside and step out with the race lead off of turn number 2. Alex Coffey with a good run off of the bottom of turn number 2, still sitting in that 4th position. TJ Roberts right there behind him. And that number 7 machine, Toyota stacked up. 3 out of your top 5 are Toyotas. Big mix-up right here around that 2nd, 3rd, 4th position. Brian Mescal Jr. forced up the racetrack, and Rob Haynes will take the top spot away from that 33 for the first time tonight. New race leader here at Kentucky. Rob Haynes going to put his Toyota at the front of the field. Alex Coffey moving to the bottom of the racetrack in that Interstate Batteries CNC Motorsports Toyota Camry. Will he be able to work his way by Mescal Jr. into that 2nd position and try to run down your race leader? Stacked up about a lane off of the bottom of the racetrack. That seems to be the preferred lane. Not really the bottom, kind of the mid-bottom. That makes any type of logical sense. Brian Beach making some headway through the field. There you can see that Mountain Dew Baja Blast Chevy Camaro making his way up through the field. Beach up 2 positions from 10th to 8th, running the bottom of the speedway, tucked in line right behind that number 7 machine. Up the track, little contact, more contact, and one goes around. More trouble behind on the backstretch. Chris Spencer, more issues. The number 8 of Chad Meadows also had some problems. You caught the number 8 Cheddar's machine spinning in the background. We're going to see if we get a camera shot of this one. Let's go to this replay. And there it is, just that long spin and into the outside wall. The 28's going to come in and catch a piece of this one, but the action, 2 separate incidents coming off of turn 2. Here's the other one, the 7 drifting up the track just a little bit into the side of the 11. That gets him out of shape off the nose of the 18 of Brian Beach and around. The 11 goes Christopher Spencer. Going to have to work his way for the back of the field in his SRTV Network number 11 machine. And we'll go right back to the front of the field. New race leader, the 199 of Rob Haynes, will bring the field to pit lane. As pit lane is opened up this time by, do we have any takers? Looks like just a handful of takers to pit road this time by. Not very many inside of your top 10 elected to come down pit road. Only 3 from inside of your top 10 coming to pit road. Dustin German, Brian Beach, Jerry West, all to pit road this time by. Matthew McMeekin, Roy Hyde, Nigel Christensen, Zachary Compton, Seth Steele, and Chris Spencer will join them on pit lane. The Home Depot number 24, the Ford Mustang of Derek Myers, receives the wave around, went down a lap early here tonight after trouble in qualifying and an early race penalty. Myers able to recover. With a long way to still go here tonight, Myers could work his way back up through the field and be a contender at the end of this thing. A lot of speed under the hood of that 24, so we'll see if he can get his Mustang back up in the mix. So with a little lull in the action, let's take a look real quick at who's in control of that. Jekyll Controls, our Charger Award right now, tied between Kerry Cleaver sitting in that 11th position and Dallas Menace. Started all the way outside of your top 15. He's up 11 positions as well, now inside of your top 10. Sitting in that 8th position, and that was one of the drivers that we were going to keep our eye on. A lot of speed last week at the Brickyard. A much different animal, a much different beast here tonight at Kentucky, but still showing a lot of promise early here tonight. Menace inside your top 10. And drivers already thinking about fuel mileage. You can see the 7 of TJ Roberts down there on the apron, trying to take the short way around here tonight under caution, trying to save as much fuel as possible to try to extend his green flag run. 5-lap run, 10-lap run. We'll see if we can't continue to make that bigger and bigger with every restart. Pace car lights are off. We're ready to go back racing this time by Rob Haynes will bring the field to the green flag. Alex Coffey just to his outside with Brian Mescal Jr., DJ Roberts back in row 2, Damian Patton and Travis Smith. Row 3, Jan Van Leer and Dallas Manus back in row 4, Brian Littleton. Inside of the top 10 for the first time here tonight, him and Nathan Pickard round out your top 10. We hadn't really talked about the weather report. Let's toss that up for you there. You can see what may be causing a little bit of trouble for these drivers here tonight. 104 degrees is the track temperature in this 1.5 mile racetrack nestled in America's heartland. So drivers may be struggling just a little bit with that rear grip. We'll see how they go when we let them go one more time. Pace car down and away. The boss man in the flag stand awaits the roar of the engines. The man at the front brings him to the Geico restart zone and wait for it. Away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Kentucky Speedway. Inside lane gets off to a great jump. Alex Coffey altering a little bit on that high side. He's going to run right back to the bunker on that 7 machine. Brian Mescal Jr. able to make his way by. How about Damian Patton now side by side for third? Big move in the back. Big move in the back of the pack as drivers at the front begin to go single file, sort things out. Damian Patton going to move into that 4th position. Alex Coffey dropping 1 spot with Patton moving up the racetrack. It looks like the 7 will have the advantage heading down into turn number 3. Not quite able to get there to do much of anything with it. We'll drop the timing and score it back over to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find your favorite driver and follow along just like we do right here in the production booth. And as we continue, let's lay down some laps. We're going to jump around the track just a little bit. What do you say we go back to the top 15? You can see that Ford performance number 77 of Lance Yancey. Lance up multiple positions, up 8 spots to be exact. Trying to run down that Tabasco number 75 just off in front of him. That's Waylon McConnell. Zachary Compton right there as well. Way up the track goes McConnell in 3 and 4. Oh, one of Nathan Biggert with a good run so far here tonight. Biggert sitting in the 12th position, knocking on the door of a top 10. Damian Patton with the fastest lap of the race. 31:04. Fast time in race trim for that one. Going to take a little bit of a different look at this battle as they continue to go side by side. just outside of your top 10. Bigger than McConnell going at it for the 12th position. Just off in front of them, we've got another battle. Dustin German and Roy Hyde right here side by side off of turn 2. Got a big run on the high side. Hyde going to look for a little bit of a side draft before turn 3. Pull even and to work his way a little bit forward through the center, but the run on the high side going to be too much to deal with. German will take that spot and walk away with a 2-car length advantage by the time they get back across the stripe. We've got comers and we've got goers here tonight. This man leading the show when it comes to drivers making up positions here tonight, up 13 spots from where he qualified back in 19th. Dallas Manus now knocking on the door of a top 5 position. Derek Myers heading the opposite direction. He's down a handful of positions. Chris Spencer also dropping a handful of spots. And after that contact, that brought out our latest caution, the 18 of Brian Beach, sitting 10 spots from where he qualified. He's going to round out your top 20. Big run through the corner for Dallas. That 45 seems hooked up here tonight at the front of the field. Travis Smith getting by Jan Van Leer for 7th. Lance Yancey goes by McConnell for 16th. Brian Mescal Jr. working his way up and around Alex Coffey. And oh, big trouble. Got to it late, but big trouble there. Big wiggle on the bottom of the racetrack, and caution is going to come out, but big wiggle on the bottom. The 33 comes up. Big reaction from Coffey, and he goes into the outside wall. And that's going to stack him up and cause more trouble behind him. Oh, no, big trouble here on lap number 24. Let's go back. Let's check the replay. There you see touching that yellow line a little bit loose. No contact between Mescal Jr. and Coffey, but there it is. Coffey about had it saved, and then the Valvoline machine of, I believe that was the Van Leer, going to come in and collect them and finish them off and bring out the caution. We're going to go and take one more look at it here. Do we got the drone cam over there for this one, guys? I'm getting a thumbs up. Let's go check the replay. There's that wiggle. There's the move to get out of the way. And here comes the 5. Nowhere to go. And Van Leer going to collect the number 19 of Alex Coffey and send Coffey around. That's going to put us under caution for the 3rd time here tonight as the front of the field heads to pit road. Looks like the 7th thought about staying out, but he thought better of it by the time it all shook itself out. So as drivers head to pit road, we're going to head to a brief commercial break, pay a few of the sponsor bills. You know how that goes. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live here from Kentucky Speedway. You're watching the Quaker State 150. And thanks for joining us back trackside once again here from Kentucky Speedway as drivers going to receive the one to go this time by the boss man at the flag stand, giving them one finger wave. Our good buddy Mr. Millen will cut the base car lights off, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing this time by, looks like the Cheddar's number 8 Chevy Camaro of Chad Meadows with big trouble here after his second incident of the night. He's going to be on pit road for quite an extended stay. It does indeed look like Chad Meadows is going to fall deep in the running order and down into 24th. Alex Coffey, damage control indeed in order. Still a long way to go though for Coffey, as we are just about to what's that going to be, about a third of the way through tonight's race. Coffey still has a big opportunity to work his way back up through the field, and a lot of other drivers going to have their hands full with making up positions on this latest restart. Your top 6 elected to stay out on track, so a new race leader, just our third leader of the night, Dustin German, will bring the field to the green flag of that 99 Ford Mustang. Jerry West teammate just to his outside. Those SRTV network machines looking to get out front, utilize that clean air to their advantage. Lance Yancey and Nigel Christensen back in row 2. Spencer and Beach in row 3. McMeekin and Haynes row 4. In the restart zone we roll, and all the gas. Green flag flies once again here from Kentucky Speedway. Outside lane getting a much better jump than what it did the previous restart, but still the inside lane hanging tough. Big run through 1 and 2. And 3 wide, big issues, and the 199 goes around, and it's a huge stack up. Parking lot on the backstretch. Parking lot on the backstretch. Caution gonna come out right as we get back green flag racing. Oh my goodness. Let's go back. Let's check this latest replay, man. Carnage and chaos everywhere here. We're going to go back. Let's see if we've got another vantage point of this one coming off of turn number 2. A lot of trouble for a lot of drivers. You can see it there. Damian Patton right behind him. And maybe taking just a little bit of air off of the tail of. No, there it is. There's the wiggle back across the track into the 4, and nowhere to go for the 45. More drivers going to pile in. Roy Hyde going to miss this one. 45 gets collected again. Alex Coffey may have been able to make his way through this latest one. We're going to go. Let's see if we've got an onboard. I believe we may. The 45 of Dallas Main is caught up involved in this one as well. You can see the 45 coming to the picture, nowhere to go. He's going to stack up right there. Alex Coffey, there's the contact on the front end for Coffey. So back-to-back incidents for that 19 Toyota, and that's going to spell some big trouble for his teammate as well. The 45 going to get caught up in this one. A lot of drivers to pit road now. About half of the field are coming to pit road to address damage problems early here from Kentucky Speedway. Lap number 31 on the board now as we continue tonight's Quaker State 150. Rob Haynes, Brian Mescal Jr., Lance Yancey, TJ Roberts, Alex Coffey, Matthew McMeekin, Dallas Manus, and Waylon McConnell. All involved in this latest one. It looks like Damian Patton also involved, and unfortunately for Patton, it looks like that's going to put an end to the night for the one machine, and he is back behind pit wall already. Tough break here tonight for Damian Patton and his one crew. The Chevy machine getting pushed back to the hauler, and you never want to see an early exit from the track. But unfortunately, sometimes it be that way, and sometimes, sometimes you just gotta take your medicine. It looks like tonight, unfortunately, for that number 8 machine as well as for the number 1, both of those drivers gonna take Gonna take their prescriptions and gonna have to lick their wounds and get ready to try to make a run next week. But we hit the track again, but a tough break for a handful of guys early here tonight. Alex Coffey gonna head back down pit road once again, so there's some heavy damage on that 19 machine. Coffey needing 2 pit stops to try to correct the car. Caution number 4 of the night comes out after trouble off of turn 2. We see the 199 of Rob Haynes have a little bit of problems, and it all compounded from there and multiplied. Handful of drivers going to get caught up in this one. Third of the way through tonight's Quaker State 150. It is as we cross the line this time by, and it looks like Chad Meadows' crew has thrown in the towel. They are beginning to push that Cheddar's number 8 Camaro back to the hauler, so big time trouble here tonight for 2 drivers, Patton and Meadows, out of the Quaker State 150. Field gets that 1 to go sign. Pace car lights back off, and we're ready to fire it off once again here from Kentucky Speedway. How about the recovery from Brian Beach? He was involved in an early incident here tonight. You'd see that Mountain Dew Baja Blast number 18 machine lined up second car inside row. Gonna restart here in the 4th position. Gonna have Travis Smith lined up just his outside. Chris Spencer right there in the 11. Good recovery for the 11 as well. So early trouble, it's okay. You've got yourself some time to make some headway throughout the course of the rest of the race. But what you don't want to have happen is multiple incidents and multiple problems here tonight. Dallas Manis and Alex Coffey both with multiple problems. Sitting outside of your top 20 now. 2 of the fast drivers going to have to run from the back. As we enter the restart zone, all the gas and green flag flies once again here from Kentucky Speedway. And it really looks like the control car has just more of an advantage than what we've seen at previous tracks this year. Brian Beach going to move into second as the high line does not get going. Whoa! Ooh, man, slideways out of the corner on those older tires. Beach going to lose a handful of positions. All the way from almost in second, all the way now to 15th. Big trouble on old tires out of turn 2. Nigel Christensen now looking to the inside of Christopher Spencer, and looks like he's going to have that position. The SRTV Network machines, 1st, 3rd, 4th on track. Brian Littleton making some headway in his Hennings restraints. Number 80 machine. There you can see Littleton up the track running in that 5th position. Travis Smith right behind him as here comes Derek Myers. We told you Myers was quick. We told you he was going to have to overcome a lot from down 1 lap, getting the lucky dog all the way back on lap number 5, getting himself back onto the lead lap. Coming from the rear of the field, now inside of your top 10, looking for a top 5. Didn't even see that Home Depot number 24, looking for some more positions. Just outside of your top 10, we've got a battle right here. The 81 of Zachary Compton, Rob Haynes, and Nathan Biggert going at it. That's 9th, 10th, 11th on the speedway. Haynes on the top after a spin coming off of 2. Here comes the 28. Look at Seth Steele. The next quick. Number 28 looking for some positions. Jan Van Leer right behind Lance Yancey tucked up in line, and this gaggle of cars really, I mean, everybody grouped up, but the man showing some speed at the front of the field, Dustin German, way out front, leading by 0.8 of a second. This is going to be your biggest race lead of the night so far here. As we drop that timing and scoring back over to the left-hand side of your screen, you can find your favorite driver. Backed up from third on back, Christopher Spencer, Jerry West, Brian Littleton, Derek Myers, and Travis Smith all lined up in a row. Throw a blanket over top of all of those drivers. One little mishap and somebody's going to be there. Handful of drivers still fighting for positions back at the tail end of this field. Let's go back here. Alex Coffey, Jan Van Leer, Nathan Biggert, all involved in this one. Coffey making up a handful of positions now back inside of your top 15. There you can see Brian Mescal Jr. trying to run his way back to the front as well. That 33 Shell Pennzoil machine had a little trouble on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he's keeping the left sides away from that yellow line, and he's going to pick up a position and move into that 16th spot. Alex Coffey getting by TJ Roberts a handful of laps ago. Grabbing a position now, trying to work over that 5 machine. Into the outside wall goes the 30, goes the 75 of McConnell. McConnell into the outside wall. Meanwhile, front of the field, let's go back to this battle. Reeling back in your race leaders as they head down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Nigel Christensen looking to try to get his machine out front and lead a lap here. 4 different race leaders here from Kentucky Speedway. You're watching the Quaker State 150 back across the stripe this time by. Lap number 42 goes on the board. Getting you a little closer to the action, trying to bring the feel of the race to you. What a bunch of great camera shots here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Big shout out to all the guys and girls back at the Turn 3 Racing Network, working hard to position all of these camera shots throughout tonight's field. As we're going to go on board now, I do believe we have that onboard camera shot looking inside at the man putting in work. And that Sirius XM number 20 Toyota machine, that's Nigel Christensen. Back outside, looking back at a hungry pack of drivers. There's Derek Myers. The 24 has made his way inside of the top 5 and now back into a podium position. Things going to get a little closer from here on back. There you can see that Bass Pro Shop Interstate Batteries number 19 machine of Alex Coffey working his way down to the inside of the racetrack. And it looks like Coffey will take that 13th position away. We're going to jump back outside of the car, bring you some more of the action from around the racetrack here, side by side, still trying to make that pass as Coffey. That's going to be a move for 13th as Brian Mescal Jr. works his way back into a solid top 15 position. Travis Smith, Roy Hyde, Rob Haynes going at it. Let's go up here to this little kerfuffle. German and Christensen going at it for the race lead, and here comes the 24. 3 wide for the race lead. Down into turn number 3. They're going to keep it out of each other's quarter panels. And how about the move by Myers? He's going to get a 2-for-1 in turn number 3 and 4. New race leader back at the front of the field once again. Derek Myers will take the point. Myers going to take over that race lead. And just around the corner from the halfway point here tonight. We're working lap number 46. Oh, a little bit of a moment there for Christensen, walking up the track almost into the side of Dustin German. But as those three drivers have battled with each other side by side, that has brought Littleton, Spencer, West, and Hyde up into the mix. Rob Haynes right there. Good recovery for Haynes in that 199 Toyota Camry, as Travis Smith still in the mix inside of your top 10, with Zachary Compton and Seth Steele in close range. Side-by-side racing action as Roy Hyde looks to the inside of the 11 machine, looking for that spot. Christopher Spencer going to be moved back to 7th as Hyde now takes over that 6th spot, working over the SRTV teammate. In front, Jerry West going to take that position, go to the inside of Littleton, looking for 4th. Top 2, nose to tail, working their way back into turn number 1. Little bit of a wiggle out of the 86 of Jerry West down on the bottom of the racetrack. Little bit of a stack up. Roy Hyde gonna feel the effects of that one. The 199 of Rob Haynes right there running with him. A little bit of a shove on the tail end of Roy Hyde. That's gonna give him a little bit of a wiggle going through 1 and 2. He's able to corral the car and keep it underneath him as the battle continues between Jerry West and Brian Littleton, fighting over that 4th position. A little further back in the field, let's go back to this 4-5 car battle. Travis Smith, Zachary Compton, Alex Coffey, Seth Steele, all involved in this battle. And I mean, look at your timing scoring over there, race fans. Your top 10, just 1.5 seconds separating. That's right, 1.5 seconds separating first from 10th. These drivers are all over each other. As you can see, the 3-car train headed up by Littleton, German, and Hyde. Bottom of the racetrack looking for some positions. Here comes a big run into the corner for Seth Steele. Steele going to close right in on the back end of Alex Coffey. And man, I got to tell you something, man. Alex Coffey, that's a racer's racer right there. We're going to take a look at Coffey here. The Georgia native running in that Interstate Batteries number 19 machine had early trouble. But he got down on his luck, still getting it on the bottom of the racetrack, but had early trouble. Could have hung his head about it, but instead he goes head down, elbows up, and Coffey making his way back to the front as we ride on board with that 19. Whoa, big run into the corner there for Coffey. He's going to have to go to the high side to avoid the 11 of Christopher Spencer. Big run out of 3 and 4 here for that Interstate Batteries number 19 machine, and he's going to take that spot away, move Coffey into 7th. Man, I'm telling you, that was a huge run through the corner for Coffey, and he is not done yet. He's going to pick up yet another position. He's going to put that 99 machine of Dustin German behind him. Race leaders at the front. Showing the way is Derek Myers in that Home Depot number 24 Ford Mustang, highest running Ford in the field. Fitting into the top spot, Brian Littleton right behind him, your highest running Chevy driver, with a Toyota right in line, tucked in that Sirius XM number 20 machine. Nigel Christensen sits in 3rd. Roy Hyde with a good run, up 7 positions from where he qualified. Inside of his 00 machine, Hyde representing Dirty Air Racing, looking for a podium. He's going to move to the outside off of 4, and it's going to be cut short. Caution, caution, trouble on the track. Caution number 5 going to wave here on lap 55, just past the halfway point. So while we've got an opportunity, we're probably going to go ahead and use this time for your mid-race reports and your driver rundowns. But first, let's head to the replay. It looks like we are getting a thumbs up. We do have footage of what happened, so let's go check the replay. It looks like TJ Roberts in the 7 was involved in this one, so we'll go back a little further. There it is, contact between Roberts and Steele, and up the track into Van Leer. Innocent bystander there is Van Leer in trouble on the track down the backstretch. We're going to stack them up. The 7's going to have to head to pit road for a little bit of damage control. We'll take one more look at it. Drivers chasing the cars. Brian Mescal Jr., innocent bystander as well. He's going to get caught up and involved in this one, as everybody going to head to pit road. And, you know, that's going to pretty much put a temper on our mid-race rundown. But we'll mention this man right here. New race leader at the front of the field inside of his Busch. Forever, number 4, Matthew McMeekin. New race leader here. He's going to take that top spot on lap number 56 as our 5th caution of the night flies just past the halfway point. So let's go ahead and get the official business done and out of the way here tonight. 24 drivers took to the starting grid. We have still got 22 out there on the track. All 22 drivers still left on this lead lap. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting go here. Drivers right on that fuel mileage window. We'll receive the 2 to go this time by. So we're going to get back to racing with lap number 59 going on the board. And with these drivers able to make it somewhere in the range of right about 38 to 41 laps, that puts them right on that window. Will we see the long green flag run to finish things out here tonight? The Quaker State 150 and fuel mileage become a factor. We're going to have to wait and see, but as you know, cautions breed cautions. We had a quick caution to bring out caution number 4 on a restart. Will we see it replay once again when we get back under green flag conditions? And you know what? We've got a lot of people here watching here tonight. We do appreciate each and every one of you joining us here tonight. So as always, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. And of course, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers the love and drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash that bell. Over there at the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here in the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many sponsors across the many different series and leagues, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So while you're here enjoying some great racing action from Kentucky Speedway, show these drivers that love and appreciation and drop them that thumbs up. Yeah, I you know, Kelly over there in the chat, I agree. Sitting duck at the front of the field right now, really, if you really want to get down to it, you really want some opinions, which, you know, opinions are like, we'll leave it at that. But I'm in agreement with you on your opinion. Not quite so sure about that staying out strategy. It has enabled him to lead a lap, get some bonus points here for leading a lap. But, I mean, he's going to be a sitting duck. Sure, he's the control car. Matthew McMeekin staying out last to pit road, back on lap number 31. So much older tires, about 24 lap older tires than the rest of this field. It's going to be a hard-fought battle to keep himself in a good position at the front. We'll see how it all pans out, though. If we get a handful of cautions here, we get 2 to 3 quick cautions, it may work out to his advantage. You know, that's why we got to race this thing on out. But from a former driver's standpoint, from a spotter and crew chief standpoint, I'm not liking the call. Not here, not yet. I think there's way too many laps left to have this big of a gamble with this big of a difference of tires. So McMeekin, I don't know. He's going to have to be on it for this one. Back on pit road is Mr. Millen in the pace car as we get set to roll to the restart zone once again, and away we go. Green flag flies. Once again, as McMeekin gets off to a good jump, but just not quite able to jump out as far as we've seen previous control cars and already working contact. Working the inside, looking for the race lead contact between the 24 and the 4. Big stack up, 3 wide, 2 rows deep. The Coffee on the bottom looking for position. There's more contact as Littleton trying to save it, and not gonna be able to. Big issues now. Big trouble. Brian Littleton, big trouble. Huge slide through the corner, and a lot of drivers going to be caught in this one. There's parts and pieces laying in the landscaping in the grass. There you see Roy Hyde working his way through. Brian Mescal Jr. picking up a piece of this one as well. Roy Hyde, Nathan Biggert involved in this latest incident. My goodness, big time trouble here. Let's go back and let's check this replay. There you can see the contact after Littleton was trying to save it, and then so many more involved in this one. Roy Hyde turned around backwards. The 0-1 also involved. Nathan Biggert, Lance Yancey involved in this one. Brian Mescal Jr. going to pick up a piece of action. Kerry Cleaver also with some trouble. Zachary Compton, the 81. There you can see him. He's into the outside wall. Waylon McConnell with a big hit. The 199 in the back. Rob Haynes, he's going to have problems. My goodness. So we'll jump back live at the front of the field with Matthew McMeekin leading, showing the way. Looking like a genius right now after that trouble through 3 and 4. Looks to be 8 drivers caught up and involved in this one. With less than 40 laps to go now, drivers definitely within that fuel window. If they come to pit road to top off with fuel, they will have enough to get to the end, but I don't know. I think I'm liking the track position right now at this point in time. I mean, if I'm Matthew McMeekin's crew chief, you kind of made your bet. You got to lay in it at this point in time. I mean, you stayed out on 24-lap old tires. What's a handful more laps here? Everybody else still going to have to make their way to pit road at least one more time to make it to the end of tonight's race. So you're going to have to try to run this one out if you can, if you are McMeekin. But I was speaking to Alex Coffey, Derek Myers, Nigel Christensen, all of those drivers to pit road under our previous caution back on lap number 55. If I'm those guys, I want to stay out right here. You know, I want to keep this track position. We had a quick caution. No need for me to come down pit road. We only had ourselves a handful of laps. So not really eating up the tires, so to speak. It's strategy calls are going to get tougher and tougher for these crew chiefs as the rest of tonight's Quaker State 150 goes on. But the big complications are when you seem to have quick cautions. Is when do you go? When do you pull that trigger on coming to pit road for those 4 fresh Goodyears? I'm liking the call from second to about, second all the way through the field. Everybody going to stay out on track except for the drivers involved in our latest incident on track. Brian Littleton, Brian Beach, Roy Hyde, Brian Mescal Jr., Waylon McConnell, Nathan Biggert. They're all back off of pit road and back out onto the track. The Bass Pro Shops Ducks Unlimited 01 Toyota Camry of Nathan Biggert. He will be listed off of the lead lap, 1 lap down. Zachary Compton, Rob Haynes, and TJ Roberts will continue to lose laps as they continue to thrash away down there on pit lane, trying to beat the sheet metal back into place and massage those fenders to get as much aero help as they can, but big time issues here for a handful of drivers. So as we get set to go back green flag racing this time by, the pace car lights are back off, and we want to take an opportunity to send a big shout out to everybody down there at the original Intimidator spot. That's right, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet, located in Newton, North Carolina. If you're in the market for a new or used Chevy, look no further than Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. You can do it in person or right there at EarnhardtChevrolet.com. You can find a link in the description down below. Head right on over and check out some of the great deals, cashbacks, offers, as well as the original souvenir shop if you're looking for some great authentic merchandise. They got it right there in the souvenir shop. Promise you, they've got some pieces that you probably have never seen before. Don't miss out on the action. Check them out at EarnhardtChevrolet.com. Pace car in. We're ready to kick it in gear and go back green flag racing. Once again, field works their way off of turn 4 to the restart zone. Wait for it. Wait for it. And green flag flies as McMeekin hits the loud pedal. He's going to shoot out to a great restart, this time having a much better restart than the previous restart. Side-by-side action now between Myers and Coffey for that second position. Oh, big wiggle bottom of the racetrack for Jerry West. West with a big wiggle on the bottom of the racetrack. He's able to save it and keep heading in the right direction, but the 86 machine with some issues. Matthew McMeekin now way high up the track. He's going to go from first to fourth. Alex Coffey knocking on the door of leading the race for the first time here tonight. He's got a fast Home Depot number 24 Ford Mustang of Derek Myers just out in front of him. Here comes Travis Smith working the inside, looking for that fourth position, and he's going to grab it, and here you go. A little bit of a sitting duck on the high side is that number 4. Matthew McMeekin falling through the field now with 24 lap older tires. It can be expected, but McMeekin under heavy fire. Bit of a wiggle bottom of the racetrack out of that 80 Hittings restraints. Chevy Camaro, you've got the fast Ford Performance 77 machine of Lance Yancey up in the mix right now. Lance up 11 positions from where he qualified. Big crossover there, as Lance going to run a little bit high through the corner. Roy Hyde looking to the bottom of the racetrack, and here comes Brian Mescal Jr. back inside the top 15. Big issues in trouble for the 20. He's way up the track. The 20 with problems. Nigel Christensen having issues. He's heading back through the field. Keeping our eye on this Sirius XM number 20 machine. Big issues for him. He's going to head deep into the field now, as Waylon McConnell looking to the high side of the 4. Christensen on the bottom. He's going to pick up that position in the backward slide. Continues for McMeekin, now outside of your top 15. Myers and Coffey going at it as we're going to cross the line. Lap number 69 now goes on the board. Alex Coffey sitting in second with Travis Smith into a podium position for the first time here tonight. There you can see that number 9 machine making some headway through the field. Jerry West lined up behind him, sitting in that 4th position. John Van Leer, how about the run tonight for Van Leer? Great race here tonight for the Valvoline Drive for 5, number 5 of Van Leer. Further on back through the field, we've got drivers all over each other. Let's go back here. Let's take a look at Christopher Spencer, Roy Hyde, Brian Littleton, Lance Yancey, all tucked in line with each other. That's still trying to work the inside lane on Brian Mescal Jr. Here's Nigel Christensen. Big slide through the corner just about 2 laps ago, and Christensen gave up a handful of positions, but now heading back in the right direction. Seth Steele going to go inside, slides up almost into the 20. They're going to sort things out and keep it headed in the right direction. We're going to have 30 laps to go this time by. And tonight, race fans, you heard me talk about if you have trouble, you want to have that trouble early. Give yourself an opportunity to get back to the front. And we're going to highlight this guy right here. Inside of that 45 machine, making his way around the track, the driver out of Hiawassee, Georgia. That's right, Lake Chattooga, if you're ever in the area. Those of you in the Tennessee, Georgia, Western Carolina area, I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with Lake Chattooga, but Hiawassee, Georgia, right there at Lake Chattooga. And this driver going to victory lane last week. Lights out, stellar performance at the Brickyard. Early trouble here. Had Dallas on pit road for quite an extended stay. He's been able to keep himself on the lead lap, able to keep his spirits high, and here he is inside of the top 10, up 12 positions from where he qualified all the way back in 19th, now running in 7th. Dallas looking to follow up his debut with yet another fine finish. Jan Van Leer going to go into the outside wall just in front of him. The Valvoline machine having a little bit of issues. Travis Smith giving up that 3rd position to Jerry West moments ago. Brian Mescal Jr. going by Christensen for 12th. Dustin German makes his way by the inside of the 5 for the 5th position. So a lot going on now, coming towards the tail end of tonight. Quaker State 150 knocking on the door of just 25 laps to go, and it's pretty fluid moving at the front of the field. We've got all sorts of action all over the racetrack. Let's jump around just a little bit. Outside of your top 10, there you can see for a moment Lance Yancey, Brian Mescal Jr., Nigel Christensen going at it. Lance right here on the tail end of Littleton trying to take that spot away. Dustin German trying to close in on Travis Smith running in 4th. Jekyll Controls Hard Charger Award right now tied between Lance Yancey and Dallas Manis, both up 12 positions, but the nod going to go to the 45 because he is a little bit further in the running order, running in that 7th position. Lance back in 11th. .24 laps to go this latest time around. Derek Myers has company at the front. Let's go back to the race lead. Back to the race lead and down towards turn number 1 we go. The 24 Home Depot machine has company. The Interstate Batteries Pass Pro Shop number 19 of Alex Coffey has found his way to the front. He is digging on that inside lane, looking for that top spot, not able to get it on entry to 3 just yet. He's going to reset and rerun. Let's see if he can make his way to the front, back across the stripe with 23 to go. What a night, what a race. 6 caution flags have brought the field to a crawl a handful of times here tonight, but a long green flag run looks like it's set to be underway. 20 laps, I apologize, 20 laps on this green flag run. And I'm keeping my eye on that number 4 of Matthew McMeekin. He is yet to come to pit road still. Last time he was on pit road was back at lap number 31. And this is the trouble that I was talking about to those of you joining us here tonight. This is the trouble now. McMeekin Big slide through the field from the top spot all the way back to 17th. Last driver listed on the lead lap. With this run being 20 plus laps, if we get a caution at this point in time, everybody's coming to pit road. Everybody. They've already seen what a 20 lap old tires will do for you, and it won't do much. Matthew McMeekin able to hang on to the race lead for just about 2 to 3 laps, but after that, fell like a rock through the field. And I think McMeekin may be a little disappointed in the crew chief strategy after this one, because if we have trouble, everybody's going to come to pit road, which means he's going to start deep in the field once again. So the strategy just did not pay off. And Kelly, there you have it. Yep, we weren't sure about it, and that's because we were right about it. Just saying. Handful of drivers still down there on pit road thrashing away on their machines. Brian Beach, Rob Haynes, and TJ Roberts continue to work on their machines as they fall further and further behind these lead lap cars. 19 to go this time by, with Alex Coffey hot on the trail trying to get that top spot for the first time here tonight. Will the 19 be able to lead a lap here tonight from Kentucky? Menace into a top 5 position. Check him out right here, trying to run down your top 4 with Dustin German and Brian Littleton right behind him. Jan Van Leer, still a solid night here tonight inside of that Valvoline number 5 machine. He's going to run the high side, give up a position to Lance Yancey on the bottom of the racetrack, but still running a solid top 10 right here. Great points day for Van Leer. It looks like the further this run goes, the more it's playing into this man's hands right here. We're going to take a look off of the front end of this Ford Performance number 77 Mustang. We're looking at the tail end of that Hemmings Restraints. AC Delco number 80 machine of Brian Littleton. Lance now up 16 positions from where he started tonight's race, all the way back in the last row. Started from 23rd position, now inside of your top 10, sitting in that 7th position, and you can hear him, he downshifted. And there's the shift. Downshifts once again, a lot going on inside the cockpit of that 77 machine. We're going to jump back on board with Brian Mescal Jr., Michelle Pennzoil, number 33 machine, all over the tail end of the 20 Toyota of Nigel Christensen. Close 3-car battle here with Roy Hyde not too far off in front of him. Meanwhile, front of the field, let's go on board with the 9 of Travis Smith. Sitting in that 3rd position, watching the battle for the race lead unfold in front of him. We're going to have just 15 to go this time by. A little over 20 miles of racing remain here tonight in the Quaker State 150. Off of turn number 2, Alex Coffey faltering a little bit over the course of these last handful of laps. He was all over the tail end of Myers for a moment, but it looks like Coffey maybe taking a break, trying to cool the tires a little bit, set himself up for what could be one final run for that top spot. But more importantly, race fans, we said it. You know, I don't believe anybody going to be able to make it to the end. It's going to be very, very close. I'm telling you, very close on whether these drivers can make it to the end or not. Matthew McMeekin to pit lane this time by, and unfortunately for McMeekin, that's going to put him off of the lead lap. So the race strategy backfiring big time here for that Busch forever number 4 machine of Matthew McMeekin. He's going to come down pit road for the green flag pit stop and lose at least one, possibly even a second lap here tonight. As your top 3 start to separate themselves just a little bit, about a 4-car advantage for Myers at the front. And Coffey's going to have some company in a handful of laps. But Travis Smith seems to be closing in just a little bit each and every time. Yeah, there you see right there, Matthew McMeekin losing that second lap, but he does have those fresh tires. He may be able to run himself back onto at least one lap down and possibly involve himself for a battle for that lucky dog position should we get a late race caution. Right now, the 01 Ducks Unlimited Bass Pro Shop Toyota Camry of Nathan Biggert sitting in that lucky dog position. Starting to separate themselves at the front. Half a second advantage for Myers over Coffee, and Coffee with a half a second over Smith. Here comes Jerry West. And that 86 machine trying to close in on Dallas Manis, running in that forward spot. Brian Littleton sitting in sixth. He's got himself quite a bit of ways to go, almost into the outside wall. With 10 laps remain, the 86 with a big moment. Let's jump back a little further in the field. Side-by-side racing action between SRTV Network teammates. The 11 of Chris Spencer on the high side. The 99 of Dustin German trying to work the bottom of the racetrack. Battle for 8th and 9th on the speedway. Jan Van Leer still rounding out your top 10. Brian Mescal Jr. right behind him trying to work his way into a solid point side here tonight. The Shell Pins Oil 33 machine started from or near the front of the field, I should say. And now looking at trying to just wrap things up here tonight from Kentucky with a solid top 10. Mescal Jr. looking to the inside, and he's going to have that 10th position by the time they enter turn number 3. Van Leer looking back to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for the crossover. It's not going to work, and we got trouble. Chris Spencer into the outside wall. Spencer into the outside wall. More contact between teammates. My goodness. The gloves are coming off, and we may see a Chastain-Gregson interaction on pit road between teammates. If you know, you know. If you don't, just look for it here in a little while. There was some fisticuffs a-flying. That's all I'm saying. Things beginning to sort themselves out at the front of the field. This man right here. An absolutely amazing performance for this Home Depot number 24 machine. Looked like he was going to end up your pole sitter here tonight, but got that lap in just after the qualifying time clock had run out. So a tough break here for Myers, receiving a pre-race penalty, having to come to pit road early here tonight. Lost a lap, got himself back on the lead lap with our first caution back on lap number 5 tonight. Worked his way from the tail end of the field all the way back to first, and he is walking away. As we cross the line this time by the high five from the boss man in the flag stand, just 5 laps remain here from Kentucky Speedway in the Quaker State 150. And you got to ask yourselves about this guy right here. What a great race. What a recovery. What a turnaround for Coffee. Early trouble into the outside wall, onto pit road, fixing his machine, then more trouble right after that, and somehow Coffee has been able to pull out all the stops and work his way back to the front of the field, back to a podium position. And, you know, it's going to be one of those what-if scenarios here tonight for Coffee, because what if he didn't have that second bit of contact and trouble? What if he had enough underneath the hood to battle for that race lead, or grab the race lead, really, because he gave Myers a good fight for quite a handful of laps. But unfortunately, it looks like Coffee's going to be stuck walking away from the track home in second. Travis Smith with a great night as well, up 4 positions from where he qualified. Smith looking to round out the run at Kentucky with a podium. 45 of Dallas Menace debuted last week at the Brickyard. Walked away with his first checkered flag with the Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet NextGen Racing Series, looking to back up his race winning performance with a solid top 5. And you gotta ask yourselves about the trouble with him as well. Very quick, big time trouble got him deep in the field. He's been able to run through the field just as well as his teammate. But time running out as popsicle sticks were on display for race leader Derek Myers last time around. We'll head back into turn number 3, and here we go. Not a lot of positions to be gained out there for anybody really as we cross the line this time around. White flag flies. Final lap here from Kentucky Speedway down into turn 1. A 2.3 second advantage for Derek Myers over Alex Coffey and Travis Smith. The battle is going to be for that third and final podium spot. We're going to go watch this for just a moment here. And it looks like Smith does have the advantage. We'll go back to your race leader. Give this man his dues as he's off of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag flies, walking away with his first race win of the season. Derek Myers will put it into victory lane. Alex Coffey comes home second with Travis Smith rounding out your podium drivers here tonight. And what a way to cap off the evening here if you are the driver of that 24 machine. Like I already said, early issues with a pre-race penalty put him on the pit lane, down a lap. So to fight back from being down 1 lap all the way back to, to a top 5 and to a race win. My goodness. Well, he's going to have to build him a trophy room now because he's going to have some hardware to take home. There you can see that Home Depot number 24 machine going to take it for a bit of a smoke show on the front stretch. Derek Myers walks away with the checkered flag here from Kentucky Speedway, giving the fans in the stands that smoke show here tonight. What a run, what a race. We're going to step away from the track and head to a brief commercial break. Get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here from Kentucky Motor Speedway. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Quaker State 150. What a run. What a night. We've got two, I don't want to call them Cinderella stories coming up for you, but we've got two great finishes from drivers that had a little bit of early trouble. And we're going to begin things. So we're going to kick things off here in these post-race interviews. Let's see if we can grab a few words when the man that walks away with the final spot on the podium here tonight. Travis, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, man. How you doing? How you feeling? After a solid podium here tonight for you and your crew.
Yeah, not too bad. I started shifting there. I think that hurt me more than it helped me. Should have just stuck with what I was doing at the beginning of the race and practice, but it felt good. But it was just, I think could have been faster if I wasn't shifting there. So I have to go back and look at it and see my lap times before that, and then right there at the end see what the difference was.
Well, it looked like a handful of drivers that were struggling with a little bit of loose conditions coming, especially out of turn number 2. Did your number 9 Chevy Camaro ever seem to want to step out of 2, or was it just something to do with the lines in the air?
Both. I think it was both. It was loose off of 2, but if you had a wrong angle, especially on fresh tires, and you was trying to really put a lot of wheel into it, it was really, really loose. So yeah, I saved it one time, right? I think on lap 1. Thank God Spencer didn't get into me. I think it might have been Alex too. So they done a good job staying out of me there. But then I saw a lot of guys having that same issue and took out a bunch of good race cars.
Yeah, a handful of problems here tonight for a handful of guys, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. That's just the way it be. Some people got chastained and some people did it to themselves. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Ross. But anyways, back on track here. Came into tonight's race, 5 races left in the regular season. We're now down to just 4 races left. You came in 7th in the point standings. This is going to give you a little bit of a shot in the arm here. With 2 race wins in your back pocket, is the focus already being shifted to that championship chase, or is the crew focusing on trying to get yet a 3rd win?
I mean, always shooting for those wins. And my favorite track is coming up, Bristol, and then my second favorite, Charlotte. So, then you roll into Atlanta. It's kind of like another super speedway crapshoot. Anything can happen there. And then, we ended at Vegas, and I've been really good there. Won a couple races there in the different leagues and stuff. So, I mean, this little stretch here is good for me. But, not getting to do this a whole lot. Like, I haven't been on iRacing all week. Just jumped on here tonight. So, at the beginning of the season, I was getting to put a lot more time in it because we wasn't on the road as much. But definitely on the road too much to focus on, the championship right now. I think we're solid in. If I can just do my job solidly, we should be there. So we're just focusing on trying to get to that chase so we can roll those 4-5 races off.
Absolutely, man. Well, Travis, a great run for you here tonight. Hopefully we get to talk to you again in 2 weeks. I believe we're going to have ourselves an off week for Mother's Day next weekend, but we will be hitting the track at Bristol next. I do believe that's going to be coming up next, so that's going to be right in your wheelhouse. So, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yep, shout out to the wife, kids, our busy schedule. So they allow me to get on here on Sundays, or the schedule does. And, shout out to Turn 3 and what you do, man. So glad to have you back. I can't express that enough. I know I haven't got to say it much because I haven't finished up here enough. Glad to have you back, though, and what you do. You do an awesome job for us. 946 Designs, me and Justin. If you need a paint job done, we can get you in and get you out real quick. And then I guess that's about it there. I mean, good job to the field tonight.
All right, my man. Well, again, it's always a pleasure getting to catch up with you at the end of these things. So until next time, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Yes, sir.
All right, there you have it from the crazy man himself. Who likes Bristol? I know Travis is going to watch this back later on, and we'll probably have a midweek discussion about this, but, man, I think he's lost it. I think there may have been an exhaust leak inside of that number 9 machine here tonight. He may be a little loopy because I just don't know who actually loves Bristol, but, that's besides the point. Travis going to walk away with a great finish here tonight, walking away from Kentucky Speedway in the 3rd position, and that's going to move us right along the running order to the man with a great recovery, a great finish here tonight after early trouble. Alex Coffey going to walk away with a great podium finish, 2nd place here tonight. Alex, you got us?
Oh, yeah, I got a copy.
Yeah, hey, man. As you heard us there coming to you, you had to recover from not just one incident, but 2 incidents here. You were way back in the field. How were you able to keep your focus, keep your cool, and work your way back to the front?
I was just trying to take it car by car, one at a time, and also trying to keep that heat in the right front as low as possible, because we were so tight tonight. It wasn't very easy to pass. But yeah, those long runs just let me work my way back up there one by one, and I think different tire strategies had just cycled everybody around too, so I
Yeah,
just had
well,
to be patient on 'em.
well, that last run was the longest run of the night. You were last to pit road back on lap 55, so that's just about half the race ran on that last set of tires there. As you mentioned, the tire cycles and then that long green flag run allowed you to pick off some positions, just kind of focus in on them one at a time and methodically work your way to the front. You were right there at one point in time for that race lead. Were the tires just giving up on you at that point?
I felt like I was quicker than him there for a little while, kind of earlier in the run. I know I was saving. I'm pretty positive he was saving too, but I did hear he was downshifting and I was not. And later in the run, it just seemed to help him in the long run to have been downshifting the whole time. And the dirty air was so crucial. We were real tight. So anytime you'd get within 10 car lengths of the car in front of you, you'd be dealing with a tight car. So it was hard to get a run down the straightaway, and if you did get there, it was hard to hold it on the bottom and have the run the next straightaway. So
Well, Alex, you as we already said, man, phenomenal job on keeping your focus, staying calm, cool, collected, and working your way all the way back into a podium finish here. You're solidly into the championship run, 3 wins in your back pocket. You're the points leader. You're going to continue to be the points leader as we lead Kentucky with just 4 more points races before the regular season comes to an end and we start that championship run. So over the next few weeks, I mean, we're going to visit Bristol. We've got the All-Star race, and then we're going to return to Charlotte the week after that. So out of these next 4 weeks, what's the thought process? Do you start eyeballing some of those championship racetracks, or do you just stay in the moment?
uh, I definitely like Richmond a lot. So that's always circled on any time it's in the season. That's always circled. It's probably been circled since week 1. Um, Atlanta is my home track. I live up the street from there in real life, so I'd say those 2 I'm looking forward to mainly.
All right. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk to you again before the course of this season ends itself. As we've already said, man, phenomenal job and a great recovery for you and your crew here tonight. So before we let you go and enjoy this one, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Oh yeah, shout out my team, uh, 20XVI. It was a tough night for a few of our guys, but everybody stuck in there and got the best they could. Shout out my mom; she's probably out there watching. Shout out Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet for sponsoring the league. And yeah, shout out Turn 3 Network for the broadcast.
All right, my man. Well, again, as always, a pleasure catching up with you at the end of these things. We're going to begin to, I think I might make me a coffee corner over there. No pun intended, but I mean, because we seem to talk to each other a lot. So I think I'm going to get you a more comfortable chair. That way, you can kind of enjoy these interviews a little more. What do you say?
Hey, man, I'm trying to be your best friend, man. We can keep this going.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, man, again, congratulations on the finish, and I'm sure we'll speak again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Alex Coffey walking away from the track here tonight with a great finish. He's going to recover from uh, a heaps load of adversity to walk away from the track in second. That has got to feel somewhat like a race win for that 19 crew, but man, job well done to him and his entire team. And we're going to dive right into this one. And we're going to head straight into victory lane. Let's see if we can't pop some champagne with your race winner, Derek. It's Dave. You got us.
I got you, Dave.
Hey, man. Heck of a win. We're just gonna dive right into this one. All right, you walked away with what seemed to be the pole position. Or a pre-race penalty took it from you, took you onto pit road, down a lap, tail end of the field on lap number, I believe it was 6 or 7. After that first caution, you got yourself back on the lead lap. Man, how do you stay focused enough after all of that so soon in the race? How do you stay focused enough just to work your way back to where you did and walk away with that checkered flag?
That's a good question. Yeah, man, I was really kicking myself after I found out I was gonna have to take an EOL and then not only serve a pass-through penalty, which I was speeding on pit road, serving that pass-through. It put me 2 laps down, and then thankfully a caution came out. I was just praying for some cautions out there, but hopefully nothing crazy. You don't want to see people wreck for no reason, but racing, you're gonna get cautions, and we found ourselves getting back on the lead lap, and most important part was just keeping my car clean, even though we have a fast repair. We knew we had a fast car, qualifying on the pole, even though it got disallowed. I won't make that mistake next week. I can guarantee you that, man. We knew we had a hot rod as soon as we unloaded, and just methodically worked our way up there, and raced everyone with respect, and don't think I touched anyone all race. So I'm proud of the performance tonight.
Yeah, a heck of a job. Um, one on the racetrack, but one underneath that helmet, because I mean that's a really big aspect to keep the mental game alive. Drivers can easily get upset. They can easily get down on themselves and then have performance reflecting on that. But here tonight, it looks like I don't want to necessarily say that you used it as motivation. Like, hey, look, I'm quick. I know I'm quick. I'm gonna show you guys I'm quick. And I mean, even if that was the case, you proved that you were here because I mean, you walked away at the end of this thing with over a 2.5 second advantage. So with that long, I believe it was about a 45 lap run to end tonight's race, you still had the speed, you still had the pace, and you were still the fastest driver on the track at the end of tonight's race. So looking forward from here, where do you go from here? I mean, we're going to be heading into some short tracks coming up. We've got Bristol, we've got Richmond, we've got the All-Star race and Charlotte, the race at Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up in these next 4 races. So, out of those races, out of what's left, do you think we'll see this Home Depot machine back in victory lane?
And back to that mistake, yeah, man, I thought my race was over. There's some really fast guys out there. The guy who finished second tonight, I knew he was going to be tough to get back around. But there's I'm new here in this league this season. It's only my second race, but there's a lot of fast guys out there, and they don't make it easy to pass. You don't want to just run people over. The dirty air, it's hard, when you lose all your track position, let alone 1 or 2 laps. But, we made it work tonight. But looking ahead, Bristol, I love Bristol. I expect some carnage there at that short track, a half mile. It's really fast and a lot of things can happen real quickly. Hopefully we can stay out of the carnage next week if there is any. But it seems like Bristol, there's always some wrecks. I love riding up against the wall, and it'll be interesting to see how the setup is, if it's tight, loose, if we're going to be shifting. I was shifting tonight quite a bit at both corners. I like Charlotte too, but I like Bristol more. So I'm really looking forward to Bristol, and hopefully we can run up front with those guys more often.
Well, we're going to wish you the best of luck at Bristol. I said it about another podium driver here tonight. I don't know what's wrong with you guys and loving Bristol so much. I used to dread going to that place just because it's a blender, man. Yet You throw all the cars in a giant blender, you press it, and then you just press stop and pick a car out, and that's going to be your race winner. It can be so unpredictable and such a nightmare at times, but, when you're able to conquer the last great Coliseum, you feel like a king, so I understand the love for it. I love it in real life. I don't like racing at it here on iRacing, but, to each his own, so we'll see how it goes for you when we do hit Bristol, but first and foremost, tonight's race-winning performance, absolutely phenomenal job, man. So before we let you celebrate the rest of the evening away, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous? Thank anybody back home?
Yes, sir. I'd like to say shout out to my Smoke Show Racing teammates. It's always nice to work with them and share our information. We're all pretty fast, and I'll have to go back and see where everyone finished, but definitely always fun racing with them. And shout out to Earnhardt Chevrolet for sponsoring the NextGen Series League. And thank you, Dave, with Turn 3 Racing Network. It'll be interesting to go back and watch this broadcast.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations on your winning performance here tonight from Kentucky in the Quaker State 150. Until next time, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
All right, there you have it. Another crazy driver that loves Bristol. I don't know what's up with these guys. I don't know. I don't get it. Myers loves Bristol. Smith loves Bristol. Coffee loves Richmond. I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here? What are we doing? No, just joking. Just kidding. Absolutely love both of those tracks. In real life, I've visited them multiple times. Great race tracks coming up here in the next handful of weeks to close out this season with the Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet Next Gen Racing Series, and walking away, checkered flag in hand, just his second time on the track this season. Derek Myers will finish in first and park it into victory lane. That Home Depot orange looking good down there against that checkered flag. And Myers with a great run and a great, we'll call it a recovery because that's what it was. You heard him 1-2 laps down, able to get himself back on the lead lap and work his way through all of the traffic to grab the top spot in the checkered flag. An amazing performance from the 24. What a night, what a race here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. Don't think we could ask for much better racing action on track. So as we get ready to fire things up over the course of these next handful of weeks, we've got a few off weeks sprinkled in there, but we've got 4 great races coming up to finish out the regular season here with the Next Gen Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet season, and it seems like producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away with that top spot once again in that Home Depot number 24 machine, Derek Myers walks away with a race win. Alex Coffey with a big recovery, the 19 going to finish in second, while the 9 of Travis Smith rounds out your podium drivers. The CNC teammate Dallas Manis backs up last week's race-winning performance with a solid top 5 finish. The 80 of Brian Littleton will finish out your top 5. Jerry West slides home in 6th with Lance Yancey coming home in 7th. Dustin German back in 8th with Christopher Spencer 9th. Brian Mescal Jr., good points day for Mescal Jr. He'll finish in 10th. The Valvoline number 5 machine of Jan Van Leer will come home in 11th with Nigel Christensen parking that number 20 Sirius XM machine home in 12th. That's Steele back in 13th. Roy Hyde 14th. Waylon McConnell finishes out your top 15. Kerry Cleaver, final driver on the lead lap. The 69 will walk away from Kentucky Speedway in 16th. Early trouble here tonight for the 01 of Nathan Biggert finds himself finishing in 17th. First driver, 1 lap down. Race strategy not going the right way for that Busch. Forever. Number 4, Matthew McMeekin will finish in 18th. The 81 of Zachary Compton has trouble tonight. He'll finish 10 laps down in 19th, while Brian Beach parks that Mountain Dew Baja Blast machine home in 20th. Rob Haynes, your pole sitter, Finishes back in 21st, TJ Roberts 22nd, Damian Patton. And Chad Meadows finish out the field here tonight. From Kentucky Speedway, what a night, what a race, what a run. Lance Yancey walking away with the Jekyll Controls Hard Charger Award. Let's not forget about Lance and his move from 23rd all the way inside of the top 10, all the way to that 7th position. An amazing, phenomenal job by that Ford Performance number 77 driver, Lance Yancey. What a race, what a night, what a run here from Kentucky Speedway for the Quaker State 150. We're going to take ourselves a week off to celebrate Mother's Day. Remember to call your mom. Remember to tell you you love her. Just saying. Mother's Day coming up. You got to do it. That's going to be it. We're going to get ready to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, but if you haven't already, please do. And remember, tell your friends to tell their friends. Have their friends tell their family and friends. Come on over and hang out with us each and every Sunday night. That's right. Join us in that push to 3,000. Show these drivers a love and drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe and smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.